All right, children being exposed to violence, improper restraint holds, and in some places, poor living conditions. It's happened across the country at behavioral treatment centers run by Sequel Youth and Family Services.
That's the same for-profit company that operates Sequel Pomegranate here in Columbus. 10 Investigates spent months exposing a pattern of problems there. Now more states are cutting ties with the company, criticizing Sequel of putting profits ahead of protecting kids. Here's Chief Investigative Reporter Haverhill.
Here the client is what we're all about. Doing a great job, doing the right thing for the kids in our care.
During a 2015 lecture at a Baltimore business school, Jay Ripley, the co-founder of Sequel Youth and Family Services, discussed how his behavioral health model became profitable. Prior to recent closures, like what happened at Sequel Pomegranate and elsewhere, Sequel Youth and Family Services had operated 29 residential treatment facilities in 15 states.
If we can execute great programs, you're going to have more clients than you can possibly think of. It's like, it's really like drinking from a fire hose.
Ripley told students and faculty that year that Sequel earned about $200 million in revenue, and its profits
somewhere in the $30 to $32 million range.
The next year, in 2016, the company acquired Sequel Pomegranate, which according to this SEC filing, brought in $19 million in revenue that year.
You can make money in this business if you control staffing.
But inadequate staffing, some allege, is what led children here in Columbus to suffer abuse. In 2019, 10 Investigates reported on this lawsuit, where a teenage boy alleged he had been forcibly held down by other teens, viciously assaulted, battered, and raped. The allegation was substantiated by Children's Services. Sequel Pomegranate settled that lawsuit that alleged at the time of multiple sexual attacks on the victim, the one Sequel Pomegranate staffer working that night was occupied by a personal cell phone. Our investigation also found repeated incidents of violence affecting both staffers and teens.
Even if you had one assault on a child, one assault on a staff member, one sexual abuse allegation that's substantiated, in this case, we have multiple, and year after year, this place still gets millions of public dollars.
Yeah. And these incidents are troubling, and we are concerned.
Franklin County Children's Services, which supplied Sequel Pomegranate with most of its children, severed its contract earlier this year, but problems persisted. Listen to this police body camera footage of Pomegranate's CEO talking to Columbus Police.
But here's the situation. We've got 4 or 5 girls here that are hell on wheels. And they're threatening staff, they're fashioning weapons, they're destroying property. We aren't equipped to handle that. We never have been.
Okay, so I'm not the one that takes them in.
Last Friday, the state announced it struck a settlement agreement, forcing Sequel Pomegranate to relinquish its license.
This business model is dangerous for kids, but it is also really dangerous for the workers that come in. The pay is very low.
Sarah Gelser is a state senator from Oregon. She's toured Sequel facilities in Illinois and Michigan where Oregon children were being sent. She's put a stop to that, and other states like California and Washington are following suit. Gelser says she's expressed concern to Sequel leadership earlier this year about how some children were being improperly restrained.
I expressed my fear that if they did not change something, that a youth in their care was going to be seriously injured or was going to die, and that this was a systemic problem across all of their programs.
Months later, it happened. 16-year-old Cornelius Fredericks died days after security video showed him being restrained by Sequel staff at Lakeside Academy, a Michigan facility now permanently closed. In an email, a spokesman for the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services told 10 Investigates this administration will no longer be working with any Sequel facilities.
No one deserves the type of treatment that we are talking about.
That's a good reminder that they are children at the end of the day.
They are all children, and they are all children who have experienced some form of trauma.
Bennett Haberly, 10 Investigates.
Over the past several days, 10 Investigates has made repeated attempts to reach Sequel for comment. We have not yet heard back.